we are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, theys and thems of the internet.
I'll
Well,
just go fuck myself then. Okay. That's cool.
welcome to another VT Network. Thought I'd try out a new background for us. What do you think, huh?
I'm digging it. I'm liking it. And so I just threw myself off because I was like, wow, I am way out of sync. And then I realized I have the live pulled up and not our little back room area that we're usually in. So
Yeah.
if that doesn't fully explain where I am at tonight,
Usually lost, yeah.
oh man, it's bad tonight. Bad tonight. I didn't come prepared for a show. I watched an anime that was the equivalent of what I assume is taking acid, 2 shots of liquor, and
Trying
proceeding
to
to watch
function.
yeah, and proceeding to watch 5 hours of stand-up comedy afterwards. So you have no idea what the hell's going on, but sometimes you're just like like just getting the stupid stoner giggle going on.
Of course, today we're talking about one of the classic animes called Bobobo, and its effects on modern anime. And also, we're talking about a couple of OVAs that you watched, or at least you watched one of them. And we'll be touching on that one a little bit. Twilight of the Dark Master.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh shit, wait, did you send me more and I just didn't see the message?
No, you
There
you watched
okay.
Twilight of the Dark Master.
Okay. Oh, thank God. I thought I missed something. Like, man, I'm really fucking slacking this
Just
week.
fucking it all.
Oh my God. Yeah, man,
So
how you doing? How you doing, buddy?
I'm
Doing good
alright.
on
I
this
still
Sunday?
got that. I still got that fucked up cough that you get. Like when you're sick and a smoker of some sort, and for some reason you just keep coughing. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if you're 100% better. Your body's just continues just to cough. Your body's just like, you know what? We need this, and it's like I don't
You will
think we do.
you will find out that nobody fears the weather more than a mailman and a smoker.
No shit though, right?
Rain, sleet, hail, snow, a tornado. I'm going outside for a square. But it's right there. And I got a Newport right here. What's your point?
Right.
Like
It's
like
not
nobody
here yet.
nobody fears weather like a smoker. I've seen people like it could be dead of winter and you see people on their front porch just
Oh
um
hell yeah, dude. That's been me.
bundled up in a blanket, got a coat
Yeah,
on, everything. You just see that cigarette just constantly go like
yeah.
God,
That's been me. That has been me, dude. Fucking outside in a jacket and shorts with like sandals or like fuzzy slippers on, just fucking.
oh
I'm not
man.
letting it stop me.
There was a point where I was more white trashy than what I am now. And like I was like, man, I
That's
want to
hard. That's
smoke.
difficult to do.
That is real difficult. Mind you, this was when I was like 18, 19. So here I am. I'm like, man, I want to smoke. It was the dead of winter, dead of night, and like ain't nobody outside. So I was just in a pair of pair of like whitey tighties, and I put my steel toe boots on. So I'm sitting on my front porch smoking a cigarette. My neighbor comes over, he's like, we have windows, right? Yeah. He's like, why? I said, dude, I didn't think anybody was awake. He's like, I don't sleep and you know this. So I just see this. I'm like, well, then join me or go away. I don't know what to tell you.
Right? Do you want one?
I,
Right? Like,
that's what I like. If you're going to come up to me and complain about something I'm doing, you can either join me or you can go away. I'm happy with either one.
right? Yeah, either one. Either part of the story is good with me. But yeah, it's just been one of those coughs, and you're right. Like nobody, the smokers don't fear the weather.
Fuck no. Fuck no.
No.
No, especially if they've been fiending all day too, or fiending all night, and this is the first time they've had a moment where like nobody's awake, nobody's talking to you. You don't even take your phone outside either. That's how you know it's been a long day. If you take a pack of cigarettes outside with you and leave your phone on the table,
Yep.
that's how you know it's just been a fucking day and you don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. No shit though. But let's before we get into Bobo, because it's a lot. I watched I finished off at 29 episodes
Finished
of
off at
the
15.
original. Yeah.
15 was my limit. And then I'm like, man, the 30-year-old me can only handle so much of this. Like
Yeah.
sober, mind you, sober. Like if I'm stoned, I can burn through it. But
I think we
I
had that
trigger.
discussion really early on about how to watch Bobobo, and we both decided that the best way to do it is after you've been inebriated in some form or
Oh yeah.
way, because trying to watch that shit sober and understand what the fuck is going on, because you automatically want to make sense of things, and Bobobo doesn't let you do that.
That is not a show you can make sense of. And I thought when we had that talk, I was like, okay, I can try and make some sense of this because there has to be some point of this show where you can understand what they're saying. After watching the first two episodes, I was like, oh no, you can't make a fucking lick of this. Nope. And then once they include Don Patch into it, which I think is what episode 2.
Three, it's three.
Yeah, yeah. When Don Patch officially joins them, you're like, I got nothing now. They were just on a train, and now they're on a plane, and now Bobobo's in there, but Don Patch is a dog, and I I would love to be the person to say that what I will talk about this show is fake and it's just a gag episode. No, that's the entire series.
No, it's the whole thing. But let's get into Twilight of the Dark Master. So we talked a little bit about OVAs and how some of the more disturbing and original anime made its way to video cassette or video only. And Twilight of the Dark Master was one of those things. It was made and then it just went straight to video. Like it was it's celebrated by weirdos like me who who fucking love weird old school anime like that. But other than that, nobody really knew about it. So you got a chance to sit down and watch it, and I'm dying to know your thoughts.
I could definitely see why weirdos like it. Like I can completely understand why it's not one of those that when you go to anime forums that it's readily talked about. It's mostly that weird niche anime that's like you put it onto somebody because they ask you for it.
Yeah,
Like it's not like they don't get recommended it out of just the kindness of somebody's heart. They're like, hey, I got some fucked up shit to show you. Here you go. Here's this, and that's how I got presented to it. It was it was an experience. That's the best I'm going to put it. It was an experience because I keep bringing this back to the 90s anime thing, but it's very prominent. It was violent. It was
very.
violent. They were not afraid of the nudity. Never was, never are. I was so confused in the first like 2 minutes where these two people were talking, then a demon shows up, and now this broad's missing half an arm. I was like, what? Whoa, 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 whoa. Where we missed A and B, we're in fucking F. What happened?
Yeah,
It
we went
was
from A to B to F and D, E, and are just somewhere out there.
not existent. They got explained somewhere. Don't know where, but they got explained. So it wasn't bad. It was a nice little chunk of how do I want to put it? It was a nice little chunk of content that
Yeah,
you could just indulge yourself in because I was expecting something like when we did Samurai X a couple weeks
right.
ago when
Yeah,
it was going to be like 4 episodes, each episode being 45 minutes. No, it was just one simple little 45-minute thing, and it was nice. I love the art style. I love the graphic violence because unfortunately, I love my violent stuff, especially if it's in animation form because you can pull off a lot more. You can pull off a lot more violent acts with animation and make it look like it has more oomph than what you can in actual TV because you don't have to be like, here's the punch, but here's their nose. And for some reason, you can just see that the knuckle doesn't even touch the nose. But
yeah,
with anime, you can just be like, oh, here's your arm. Whoosh, gone. Finite. Bye.
yeah. No,
Yeah, gratuitous violence.
that anime is a hallucinogen. Welcome, Wanda. Thank you for tuning
Oh,
in.
God. Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
hallucinogen after a bad day, man.
but I love it because one, the art is so beautiful. Like everything about that, like every frame was cared for.
Oh, yeah, they didn't skip out on anything. They
Yeah,
didn't, yeah, they didn't. They wanted to make sure every single frame meant something. They didn't want. They wanted to eat the whole dinner platter with no crumbs left behind. They
not
licked
one. And
that
then they
son of a
ate the
bitch
plate.
clean.
Yeah, then they ate the plate, bro. Like,
They just put some Parmesan. Like, all right, here we go. Time for the last course. Dessert ain't got shit on this.
sir, that's the plate. I know, and I'm gonna eat it too.
I know. It's class.
Fucking
I don't give a. I
the
don't care.
nothing's here's kind of why I like it. Right? And it's fucked up because usually I'm the one that complains about show don't tell.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you could have told us. You know what I mean? In that anime,
Oh, so much.
uh, the powers of the main protagonist, like we don't know what the fuck they are. They're not explained clearly. They're demonstrated well, like several times in that little 48 minutes. Like when he breathes out and snaps his fingers, and
That
shit
was
just
cool.
dies and explodes, and it's beautiful. I have no idea what the fuck is going on though.
Did we get told how it works? No.
No,
Are we gonna get told?
no,
Yeah.
and there
It
is no.
probably is. I bet the creators were like, "Are we gonna explain any of this? Like, are we gonna explain any of it to the audience?
And we could,
We could. Do we want to? How much is
but
that gonna cost? I don't know, like $10. You got $10?
I ain't got $10.
Nah, I got 20, and I don't want to split a change. So
Yep.
yeah, they
No,
can
we're
just
not
figure it out
explaining
themselves.
shit.
No, no, they can figure it out themselves. This is why I'm glad that we don't actually think this thought process when we do our writing, because
Right?
shit would never make sense because we're under budget, which would incline that we have a budget to begin with.
Yeah, no, we don't. We don't, but we make it work. Speaking of that, that's Dark Charm Media. In case you guys want to check any of that out, please do. The final
Oh, fuck.
episode of what the hell is it called? I just had it in my head.
Oh yeah, but wasn't it Dark Charm Presents?
It's a Gate Beyond presents a
Oh,
score
Gate
to
Beyond.
settle. It's the final episode of a score to settle, and it's actually pretty good. There's several characters that are talked about, including your character, Braden Devro. But I'm not going to tell you how or where, so you need to listen to the episode.
If you want to figure it out, go listen to it, you nerd. Go figure it out.
But moving past that, yeah, I mean it's always been in like my must-watch animes because it's so fucking gorgeous. It's so beautiful. It's weirdly poetic, like you know what I mean, like weirdly poetic, not like outright poetic, not like something you'd watch it and be like, yeah, that was good symbolism, or you know what I mean.
It- yeah, it's one of those you watch it and you're like, I feel something like in my chest, and I can't exactly explain what it is. Like it's not dread and it's not excitement, but it's the
It's
ground in
there.
between.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
something there.
yeah. It's one of those. Like it was nice. It reminded me of not Devil May Cry. What's the other one? No, it might is it? No, it's not Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry has Dante. The one popular anime back in the '90s that dealt with the guy getting possessed by the devil. The devil's name was Amon.
Devilman.
Yes, yeah, Devilman. Thank you. God, wow, that was a reach.
I know.
But yeah, it reminded me
It's
of that. It's,
it might be.
it might be after watching that. Don't eat anything while you're watching that.
No, no.
No, just have a
there's parts
drink while
to
you're
it
watching
there. In case you noticed, we're talking about Twilight of the Dark Master. In case you missed that, Twilight of the Dark Master, OVA, incredible anime.
Especially when we were in the what is the especially when we were just entering into the club and like we got all those flashes of the different demons and stuff
Yeah,
and seeing the people attached to the machines. I was like, oh, that is imagery to its 100th power. Holy shit.
yeah. Um, but let's get to Bobobo. Started in
I don't mind. That's why
2001.
I don't mind doing the OVAs like at all, but it's really like you only have so much,
Time.
so much to say about it.
Yeah.
When it's only 45 minutes and you got 5 minutes of that being credits and stuff, you only have so much to talk about.
Yeah, and like I said, I love these weirder animes that came out in the 90s. And as much as, I want to talk about like weird stuff like that, it's difficult to on an open forum because that is some niche shit, you know what I mean? Like when I talk about movies and stuff like that, most of the time a lot of people have seen it or at least have heard of it. When we go into
Yeah.
anime and the niche shit I get into, like people are like, you're weird, and I'm like, yes,
Yes, that's the point.
But Bobobo was started in 2001.
Ooh.
Bobobo
Just
is
say Bobobo. Oh my God, we're gonna spend 90 fucking percent of this show saying the name.
yeah, yeah, we are because I don't allow
No,
it to be shortened.
no. Then I that nope. We can stop. Show's done right here. 20 minutes in, show's over. Because I'm not saying that whole name every time I'm trying to talk about it. That's just wasting the time of the viewers and the entertainers.
Those-
Yeah, that's just wasting time of the viewers and the host. Fuck that.
the best way I could sum this up is people hate hair, and it just goes. It gets just gets weird from there.
Hair
Hair is such
racism.
a hair is such a like the central plot point that everything revolves around, and
Hair racism. That's it. Hair
that's it.
racism.
Yeah, hair
That's the
racism.
plot of
Yes.
Bobobo. And so I'm excited because, like I told Deadman, this is one of my favorites. Like, this is the one that this was. This is in my top 5 anime of all time,
Yes.
like listed among the greats. So talking about this is fun, but if you don't have somebody that's equally knowledgeable about it, you just look like a crackhead behind a 7-Eleven trying to tell the world that it's ending in like 9 days. Like, you won't believe it, man. This guy shoots nose hairs. He can
Hmm.
fight with his armpit hair. He's got a big blonde wig, but he talks black. And you're just like, wow, what is he smoking? Because I need some of that.
Yeah, and the weirdest part is that if you, I watched the original Japanese because I don't know, I like watching the original Japanese on that one because I think the voice acting is so much better.
Uh,
I can't do it. I'm sorry. The attacks themselves are so much funnier in Japanese.
Man, I get it. I understand. But when you, the difference is there's some things in the English translation that didn't transfer well over to the like the Japanese one.
Hmm.
Like there's a gag in the first episode where they have Bobobo's theater, and he's like, the tale of how Bobobo became who he was, and it has like 3 kanjis. And then the girl was like, "That's not even close. What do you mean?"
Yeah,
It,
yeah,
it,
that's what I mean.
I,
Draven, welcome to the show, brother. One of my first animes, Bobobo.
that's and I think I dislike it because everybody who watched anime during the Toonami days was like, "Oh, I watched Inuyasha. Oh, I watched this. I watched that." And then you have me who was like, "Yeah, I watched Bobo." I was like, "Oh, that's such a stupid fucking one." It's like, "But you know it. That's the difference. That is the difference." That was I know that was you because you're a fucking nerd. Um,
It is
that
literally that line from Jack Sparrow when somebody says, what does he say? You are by far the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
but you
And he
heard,
goes, but you've heard of me.
and that's exactly what Bobobo is. That is the Jack Sparrow of animes, because the funny and that is a wild statement to make, but I have facts to back that up because a lot of the things people liked in their shonen manga, their shonen anime, they took that and cranked it up to 11 when the knob was stuck at 5. Like we made the joke of
Mm,
eh,
I'll get to it. I'll get to it. I didn't mean to interrupt.
but the thing is, like the joke we made, like the gag they do that we talk about when they're having the who has the saddest Christmas story,
Uh huh.
and Bobobo couldn't get into a competition because he couldn't read Japanese.
Yep.
So he's like, I couldn't. He's like, I don't know if I won because I can't read this. And then everybody's just bawling their eyes out because it's like, oh, it's so sad. He's like, did you win? He's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Never. I couldn't read Japanese. I don't know. It's jokes like that really make you think, wow, that was dumb, but that was so fucking funny too.
Yeah, yeah. Mustard says, "Welcome to the show." By the way, I found a virgin sandwich here in this stream. Does that make me king of the virgins? No, I'm
Yes,
king.
yes, it does. Actually, no, you getting the gold skin in Call of Duty. That makes you that.
Oh, okay. Draven says, "Love all anime. It's good because, but people don't like it because because it's not serious." Here's what I was gonna say. Bobobo takes place
You make me want to
in
headbutt a brick wall sometimes.
what was essentially the Wild West, lawless wasteland of anime, and that was between 1999 and 2005. Anything that was a manga got made into an anime because of, yes, like you said, Gibby, and that's actually the one of the smartest things you've said about Bobobo is that Toonami made it, and Toonami, by some weird second nature, brought in all these weird fucking animes, and that includes Bobobo. So it's not that people didn't like it because it wasn't serious, because we have so many that weren't serious. We have so many that were comedy, so many that were absurdist.
One Punch Man.
Furikuri was one of those that was not serious at all, but had some very dark undertones, had some very serious subject matter behind it. But
Wait, you're
Bobo
saying Fooly Cooley? Is that what you're saying?
Furikuri, yeah,
I call it Fooly Cooley. So yeah, I'm just making sure we're talking about the right things here.
yeah, it's Furikuri, not Kuri,
Fooly Cooley.
Kuri,
Fooly
yeah,
Cooley.
okay,
Yeah, we're gonna fight about this till the end of time. That's just how I remember it.
yeah,
Continue on. Sorry, that was just want
that's
to
all
make sure
right.
I knew what we're talking about here.
Uh, I just don't get why people wouldn't like it. I guess, yeah. Well,
I could explain the exact reason why people don't like it because I've been told multiple times.
please do.
Because it does not take itself seriously as a show. No, what most people have come up to me and told me whenever I brought up Bobobo as a good like anime, as a good joke show,
Mhm.
like I tell people, don't take this seriously. Because if you take this seriously, you're just going to disappoint yourself. If you take it seriously, you're going to hate it. Go
Yeah,
into it, go into this like you are going into Scary Movie. You don't go into Scary Movie expecting a pure horror,
I would say One Punch Man for newer anime fans. Like, go into this like you're going into One Punch Man,
but have
because
less expectations of
yeah, have
a
even less
coherent
than that.
story. Yeah, like here's where your expectation should be for One Punch Man story wise. Here's where Bobobo is story wise. Like
Yeah.
that's how far the bar is below it. But it was also, I guess,
Oh, we love One
we go
Punch Man here.
we go back we go back into the we go back into the conversation of expectations. Well, I think a lot of people didn't really understand that it was supposed to be funny because a lot of the shows around that time were not funny. Like they didn't have they had the little quips here and there, like the little haha overreactions. But Bobobo again turned that knob up to 11 when it was at 5. So when they seen something just be joke after joke after joke after non-serious event after, you've been conditioned so long to witness nothing but that kind of throws a wrench into what you're so accustomed to, and
Yeah.
that throws you off. So I think that's kind of what a lot of people's issues were in the beginning. And I wish a lot of those people that didn't like it back in the day would go and revisit it now having a larger palette of anime watched.
I think, well, from what I could gather, a lot of the reviews is, what is this? Why is this? Who made this? Why does it exist? That's like the main questions that were prompted, I guess, in the comments. But I will say that, like I said, it comes from a lawless wasteland of anime. Trigun, again, is not a serious anime, but it has some very dark undertones. And I think Bobobo
You're such a
purposely
such a
sidestepped.
cunt.
I'm gonna do it every time. You know this. I don't know why you're
I
complaining.
know you are, and it's gonna make me want to headbutt a belt sander by the end of it.
Bobo sidestepped all of that. Like while we have Vash the Stampede, who is a very tragic character, Nicholas D. Wolfwood, we go to Furikuri and we have honestly, some really dark undertones and stuff like that. Same thing with Cowboy Bebop. There's so much, and there was so much anime, and there was so much very 90s humor being translated into the early 2000s that we were getting used to this kind of humor. And
Pioneers.
Yeah, they were the pioneers. And Bobobo was like, I'm gonna stick with this absurdist bullshit. I'm gonna stick with very early JoJo. I'm gonna stick with very early Break School. I don't know if you remember that fucking weird ass anime. Yeah, there was a weird ass anime called Break School. Uh, I'm gonna stick with all these absurdist things, and while everybody does their thing, makes beautiful art, wonderful. We're gonna stick here and make this weird,
And
and they
I
did.
love that. I am so happy when we get something like that. When you are just bombarded with darkness and like heavy themes that you have to focus on every episode, or else if you miss one, you're gonna lose a plot or lose like a point. And Bobo was just like, I mean, you can skip this episode.
Yeah,
The most you're gonna miss is maybe like a joke, a joke villain here and there, but that's it. And I like that because, in my opinion, we are constantly bombarded with people that want to make the next great drama or make the next Shakespearean point with their stories. So it's nice to have an anime that you can easily just turn your brain off and be like, haha, that person's hanging clothes off his nose hair. Now we can't use it. The man's
yeah,
boxers are flying with it. Like it's nice to see. And there now obviously like I am a fan, so I did read the manga along with watching the anime. And there are a couple censorship things which I understand. I don't agree with, but I understand.
yeah,
Like in the fifth episode, there is a there's a guy who has a pair of underwear, and the goose is where his wiener should be.
yeah,
And and they're in mid fight, and this goose pops out of Bobobo's hair, and he's like, "That's my dad." He's like, "Son, you were born to be a joke. Have a good life." And that's all it was. But in the
that's
anime,
it.
they dragged, yeah, but in the anime, they dragged it out a little bit longer for the comedic effect. But it was just that slight little, yeah, I got weird with a pair of panties, and now you're here.
Yeah,
That's it. You were made of
that's the
joke.
joke. That's it. Thank you. Please leave. Yeah,
But it's nice. It's nice to be able to laugh at a medium that is. I'm sorry. When you hear shonen, you don't think funny. I think there's one shonen that has that, and that's it starts with a G, like Gantum. God, it's been around for fucking years. But like when I think of shonen, I don't think funny. I don't think of laughing. You know, I think maybe, like I said, it has those couple moments here and there where it's jokes or they make you kind of chuckle, but nothing to really tickle the funny bone in a way that you need it to.
well, I mean, you have things like Gatchaman. Uh, you also have things like,
I think that's what I was trying to figure out was
yeah,
got.
Gatchaman. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I think that one.
you also have things like One Piece, which is very a lot of jokes. Like it's a lot of jokes. It's very silly. You know what I mean? And yeah, there's a lot of things like that. And Gundam, that's funny. Draven brings that up. Is that Gundam started as a very dark, very violent, very serious anime. It eventually made it to where it is now. But yeah, Gundam started off as one of the most censored fucking animes you could ever get.
Oh no
And
shit.
oh yeah, dude. Oh, we're talking some violent shit.
Oof.
And
Like, are we talking Evangelion? I've never watched Gundam. I don't know. I'm not a mech. Mech isn't my
um,
forte.
well, mechs in early Gundam were part of the background. Like a lot of the
Oh,
early
okay.
Gundams talked about the government and how there's factions and stuff like that. But yeah, no, we're talking about child soldiers being shot through the skull,
Oh.
on screen, violent. Yeah,
Oh shit. Oh, okay.
body parts exploding, that kind of violent. Like yeah, trust me, it started off way up there, then started. We got back down here to like the Gundam Wing series, which was my favorite. Gundam and Endless Waltz was the shit. But Bobobo was not born in a vacuum. It was not born out of some weird niche or need either. Bobobo was much like One Punch Man. It, it's It's here's this weird trope from the 90s where everyone has a tragic backstory and everyone has this weird power scaling thing and we're just gonna fucking mock it. We're just gonna mock everything about it, and especially when it comes off of stuff like Bubblegum Crisis and Gunsmith Cats and some other really strange ones I could name, but Bobobo kind of took it to the wall and just kept going, and that's why I appreciate it. That's why I was able to make it to 29 episodes because I'm just like, I remember how absurd this was, and I remember how like not serious they took it because there's plot holes that they just kind of just
They just go
walk
over.
by. They
No,
just walk
they
by
just
them.
skim over it, and
Yeah,
they never bring it up again. And they make their
no,
own plot holes too.
they do.
Like they know they do. Like there was at the beginning of one episode, he's like, Bobobo was fighting the giant sea monster, and they all needed the help of the universe to destroy it. And it's like that didn't happen in the last episode. Can they defeat the sea monster this one? When did this happen? And they just continue on with it. It's again, I love it because in my eyes, it's in the same vein with its comedic timing as Kinnikuman was.
I think Kinnikuman is even more insane.
I don't. When okay, when Kinnikuman started out as a kaiju fighting anime, like when it started
Uh,
out as that was its seriousness. But once it started doing more of the pro wrestling stuff, that's when it kind of toned down the craziness.
I was gonna say I got two words for you that completely prove my point. Golden pose.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, you got me on that one. You got me on
I
that
I
one.
you can't hit that road bump without fucking up your transmission on that whole fucking point you're
No,
trying to make, dude.
no, no, no.
Golden pose. That's it. That takes out almost anything Bobo even attempted.
It really did. It's I think like thinking back at it because obviously like there's only so much you can talk about blah blah blah. So obviously we have to move. We got to broaden the horizon here because
Yeah, we can like go given our coming back to what like fucking 2001. I was 20 years old. You weren't born yet, so
no, I get fucked.
um
I was 5. I was okay. If I can explain an anime that perfectly molded my comedy style, like my comedy style, it would be Bobobo. That would be if I could show a direct thing like this. And
correlation.
yeah, I could. If what influenced the way that I tell jokes and deliver them and what I think is funny, I point directly at Bobobo to be the main one.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see
Hey,
that. Yeah, especially when
you-
we're writing. Yeah.
it's there because I love the we're gonna make a joke and completely mull over it, like completely go over it and not explain a single thing about it.
I think, funnily enough, I think one of the biggest glaring examples of that was when you wrote about the clown in the sewer in your own series. And I had
Yeah,
to, and you made the joke, and I had to later on. I don't remember if it was the same episode or the next episode. I did a call back to the joke, and it was fucking hilarious.
because I love that style of writing. I love making a joke, and then you have to sit and think because then the rest of the story is just kind of like, okay, this is happening. What the fuck did he mean by that?
It was so
then
good.
it
It was
and then it hits you and then you hear the end credits of thank you for listening to your dark char media and you're like, whoa, hold on, I missed an entire
there
episode.
was a clown in a sewer, and I need to know more about this. And then the next episode, it gets called back to the clown in the sewer.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then nothing is ever said again. Not a thing. Nothing. Why? Because you don't need to know about it. It was a one-off joke, and if you're thinking about it, you're thinking too much about it.
and
That's
that's
how it is.
Bobo.
That's all it is. Because in the first episode, we get a guy named Pickle,
Yeah.
and that's all he is. I'm going to tell you, it's a very literal show. It's not hyperbolic. It's not filled with similes or symbolism or metaphors. It is literal can be. There is a character named Pickle, and in the first episode, they bring him up. And they're like, "We're gonna go fight all the hare huntsmen, except for you, Pickles. You can't come." It, Pickles is not mentioned anymore in the entire series. That is
No.
right. One episode and it's done. Never brought up again. I I love it because you're always thinking about it, and then you're just like, oh well, you're not gonna bring it up again, so yeah, cool. And then of course I got to bring it up because it was brought up last week when we were talking about theme music, and somebody said that Bobobo had one of the best intro songs ever. I cannot agree more. I am mad. The only thing I can find is losers doing covers.
Well, it's like I talked about last time I brought this up. Is that Bobobo is, for all intents and purposes, very niche.
I know, but still, we have other niche animes that get their they get their theme song on Spotify and stuff like that. So why is that the only one that we like? Why is that the only one we can't get on there?
I
You
have
know?
no idea, truth be told. By the way, if you're watching, please do me a huge favor. Just hit the thumbs up on the end, or share or whatever it is on whatever platform you're watching. We do want to grow this because we love talking about this shit. So if you
Yeah,
can,
sure. Like, tickle the like, but do whatever you
all
need
that
to
other
do.
stuff, please.
Tell
Yeah.
people about it. Let people know that we exist.
But
I keep getting yelled at for my hot takes. Apparently, I have because that one short I posted on YouTube apparently pissed a lot of people off because I said weirdos were getting in the Gachia Katu fandom, and
yeah,
oh, well, you can tell these guys live in their mom's basement. Like, you guys
yeah,
really
okay.
have no in. Yeah, right. I live in a basement. That's why I have perfect lighting, and you can hear birds chirping outside. Yeah, I live in a basement, buddy.
Yeah, those basement birds, they get
Yeah,
you every
yeah,
time.
yeah, basement ostriches. That's what I got. You just hearing the making fucking noises back there, losers.
But um,
Yeah,
I don't know
back
how
to
to
what
share
we were saying.
here. You're on YouTube. Yeah, it's the arrow, sideways arrow. But if you're fucking with me, you're fucking with me, and congratulations, you fucked with me. Anyways,
Well,
um,
I mean, look, buddy, those shorts got over a combined view of 5,000 viewers. So,
she was fucking with me. God damn it, Wanda.
like,
Hey,
we
whatever,
still got,
whatever.
we
Like
got,
I'm not worried about it. Like when your point was fucking valid, your point was solid, your point was backed up by literally the writer and creator themselves, so they can go fuck themselves. Kinnikuman though, like I said, fucking golden pose. Nothing, and I mean nothing in Bobobo even touches golden pose. And for those of you who don't
um,
know, please explain Gibby, because there's only one way I could describe it, and I
no,
don't
you
want to.
describe it because I can't do it. I mean,
In Kinnikuman, a large part of the culture is the way that the wrestlers pose, and I guess Goldie Roger of the Kinnikuman universe has a pose that everyone attempts, and it's called the Golden Pose, and it is the most. It's the most 80s thing I could ever fucking describe. If you have free time, you have 5 minutes, just look up Golden Pose Kinnikuman. Trust me, you're not gonna want to miss it. But it
it,
just
it's goofy.
it's the
It is goofy
goofiest shit
looking.
ever, and they always talk about it with such reverence, with such like the Golden Pose.
A show about pro wrestling with aliens.
uh,
How serious do you expect this to be? That well,
Not at all.
the difference is this is where I can start talking about my other favorite show. What I love about Kinnikuman is it went from one guy who can fight kaiju's with the push of his farts to battling Satan to get back the power of friendship. Those are both accurate statements
Of
and
an
full
episode.
story arcs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those are That's why it makes me laugh when people are like, "Oh, anime is just the power of friendship," and I'm like, buddy, you haven't seen the worst of it.
Oh no, no,
There is there
no.
is a whole tournament arc where Satan, literally Lucifer, who they were talking about, took the power of friendship, put it in a box, and now they
Hmm.
had a tournament to fight for said box.
Yeah,
And
and
want I want
oh, he
them to
froze up.
give
There he is.
the entire Kinnikuman series the same treatment. Oh,
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good.
okay, I'm good. I want them to give Kinnikuman the same treatment that they are giving Baki.
Mm.
Yeah, well, they did it with the Perfect Trojan arc, and I really like that. It looks good.
Mm.
I would love for them to go back and retouch on like the uh beginning of Kinnikuman.
Kinnikuman. Yeah.
Yeah, like beginning to touch that, but I know that they can't. Or like the English version is going to be kind of weird because the voice actor for Meat is dead.
Mm.
He's
He's
been dead.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I hear Meat's voice and I'm just like, man, your throat had to hurt after every recording, especially Ultimate Muscle, because he had that Smokers Brooklyn voice. I
Yep.
okay, I never understood why people had such a hate boner for kids censorship.
Mm.
Like I didn't understand it when I watched One Piece because I was like, I don't see the
It's a lot.
different. It, again, I don't watch One Piece. I read One Piece. I respect my time a little bit more than to sit and watch it. But it is 10 times worse when it came to Ultimate Muscle.
Yeah.
Like it was terrible. And obviously there were jokes about like Kid Muscle going into a brothel, him shitting in one of his opponents because it was a toilet. There was a lot more blood in
Hmm.
Ultimate Muscle than what there was in the show, and you're like, wow, what the fuck is this?
I think Ultimate Muscle was one of those ones that. You know what? Now thinking about it, yeah. You know what? I think you're right. I think they should actually uncensor it and go the full Baki route. I think so. I think that that would be a little boost to the anime community.
It would.
Uh,
Well, I mean,
Wanda says it's actually pretty not good unless you have a really weird sense of humor. True.
what, what are we talking about? What's not
Can I come
good?
on? Draven says
Yeah.
that they love Baki. I,
Baki is good if you just want to watch a fighting. You have to come into this and not know anything about anatomy and not want to learn anything about anatomy. The fact that one of the characters was like, I didn't suffer a concussion. Why? Because I let my brain move all around my skull.
hmm. Yeah, I don't.
Sure.
I
We're
don't
fighting a
know.
caveman.
Hmm?
Sure.
Why
There's a
not?
guy who takes drugs and now has metal teeth.
Sure.
Sure. It's a whole bunch of sure. It's good. Like it's the old Baki was awesome. I love the fights in Grappler Baki. Those were cool. I don't think they should keep going on with it because they're doing Doe right now. One of, in my opinion, the weakest arcs in the entire Baki series
Hmm.
because it takes sumo wrestling and it makes it seem like they're the strongest in the world. We're not going to be able to defeat them. All the sumos get bitch slapped. Spoiler alert, but all of the sumos lose.
Bucky's old, but like that whole fucking series is old as shit. It was based off a really weird series of movies called The Ballad of Ricky O. So I don't know if you've ever seen that. Draven says yes, it's a brain mush brain. Yep. They like it because it's like Diablo for games. Yeah.
But
I have seen sumo animes. Yes, I've seen several sumo animes, and they're all kind of weird.
I mean, he's not wrong. It's the Diablo of animes because you don't really got to think about it. You just see big burly men fighting each other. And
Writing
the
essays
story
about drug trafficking in Latin America and listening to you guys bitch about anime is not a good time.
then
Those two are very closely related.
you Draven Fox said in the Twitch chat, "Yeah, you can smoke and watch." Really, that's
We're
what
not
it is
shit.
about Baki. Same with Kengan. I mean, you
Yeah.
could tell Kengan and Baki are two sides of the same coin.
But anyways, oddly enough, I think that Bobobo Kinnikuman, even to a certain extent Baki, the absurdity of these animes has helped shape a lot of newer media. And that includes Invincible, that includes The Boys, that includes God, The Walking Dead.
How do you figure? How do you figure on that?
How do I figure on that?
Yeah.
You have to remember that for a very, very long time, the comics code was extraordinarily strict. And I mean extraordinarily strict. Then you got Gen 13 come out, and Gen 13 was also part of like some weird little, niche comic companies, and they were pushing the limits of what you could draw as far as, comics goes. But then you started importing manga, and manga such as Bobobo, such as Kinnikuman, such as
Oh, you're driving me insane.
all these other animes that have nudity and graphic violence, and I mean graphic violence. Baki is one of them. Another one called Birdman, which is another fighting, really old fighting manga, which was also extremely graphic.
Sorry, man. The only Birdman I know is Birdman, attorney at law.
Did you get that thing I sent you? Uh,
That's all I think of for Birdman.
yeah, no, it was a weird fucking anime, and it's a weird. It was a weird manga. I don't think they made it into an anime, but all of these hyper violent,
It, some
huh?
of them don't the anime treatment
No,
like it
no,
all.
no.
No, that's no.
But all of these animes that were coming out were had explicit nudity, had graphic violence, and American comics started to fall behind. And the reason that these comics, these anime mangas started to become more and more popular was because there was less and less filters on them. These people who could draw sexy women, sexy men as women, and vice versa, and so on and so forth. They could draw the entire spectrum of sexiness, and nobody gave a fuck. They could draw the entire spectrum of violence from a slap in the face to somebody literally getting blown apart viscerally with body parts and guts and everything else, and they drew it all out. And therefore, American media started to suffer. They started to our an American audience could only import so much manga and so many stories. So we started looking towards things like the Max. We started looking towards things like Spawn, like Gen 13, like Golgo, like fucking Witchblade, and all
Ooh, the
these
Max
other,
is a good one.
yeah, all these really Aeon Flux, all these really niche small comics that were also trying to push the comic code. And because things like Kinnikuman, things like Bo that were so absurd, they were nuts. They were you know what I mean? Like as a 13-year-old, you could take one of their mangas and give it to your mom and dad and be like, look, yes, I know there's some weird explicit stuff on here, but if you read it, it's ridiculous. It's
Why does he have a
absurd.
Why does he have a bird cock?
Yeah.
Remember when I said ridiculous?
Yeah.
That that. Why is he fighting with his nose hairs? I said it once. I'll say it again. Ridiculous.
It is. And
Well, I mean, I remember being a teenager and my mom was trying to, my mom was trying to be the cool parent, be like, I'll watch this show with you. So I was like, okay. So we were watching Bobobo and she's like, Gibby, I can't. I can't with this. She's like, I'll watch anything else with you. I will try anything. I can't with this. It makes no sense whatsoever. I was like, that's the point. She's like, I love you, but I just can't.
I don't blame her. But if you really want to see what I'm looking at, type in. Get your phone out and type in Gen 13 comic, and you'll see exactly what I mean when I say pushing like the comic code of censorship. And Japanese anime and manga started coming along and destroyed it, and therefore we got a lot more mainstream. Yeah,
What the fuck is this?
yeah, that's what I was around in the '90s. We started getting more and more violence in our stories, a lot more sex, a lot more adult themes. Like, yes, there were adult themes in X-Men and, in Superman and Batman and stuff like that, but they were not on the level that anime and manga were. And because of the absurdity that you could get away with via Bobobo, Kinnikuman, and so on and so forth, we started getting the Walking Deads. We started getting the Maxes. We started getting Aeon Fluxes. We started getting Witchblades. We started Invincible. Started, you know what I mean? Like all these hyper violent, really adult themed comics started becoming more and more and more the norm.
Come on, give me what I'm looking for here. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I can find it on my way to read it. So I'm just, was doing that for a second. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I I noticed that after a while, I mean, it's even happening now, and that's kind of the shitty part, is we're seeing Western media fall behind again. Like we're watching Western media with comics and stuff just fall behind. And I think that has a lot to do with people are scared of their comics getting backlash instead of just making the stories they want to make. Like they want to make stories, but then they see how much scrutinization they'll get if they say something off kilter.
Or controversial or colorful. Yeah.
But right, so they're afraid to do it. Whereas manga artists are just like, well, we don't like this. Hmm. Okay, and
Cool.
but we said some wild shit.
Hmm?
Uh, okay, well, but you can't say that.
I did.
I did. Hi. Well, that's so I've been keeping up on a series. It's made by the guy who made Gantz.
Yeah, that guy.
So let me yeah, real funny
He's
dude.
a he's a
He's interesting. He's
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 he's out there.
he is very interesting to say the
We
least.
we get it. We get it, Draven. We know you're a green bud. We're not,
It
you're all right.
it No, Draven, you're wrong. You are so wrong. Stop being wrong. Why are you so wrong in chat? But he's currently releasing a manga where it's four dudes living inside of an apartment and they all drink water that turns them into females, and only one of them does. But, like you can write this in American media, but a lot of it will be like, oh, that's weird, or that's phobic, and the guy who made it is just like, I think it's funny. Like I just think it's a funny story, and I'm gonna keep writing it because
Literally, I wish you were exaggerating in some kind of way or playing it up for the camera. No,
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 that's
that's
just
this
how he
guy.
writes. That's how dude writes every story. It's just like because I was reading an interview that he did, and he made a point. He's like, when I say I want to write taboo subjects, it's not because I want to be out there or in everybody's face or make something that is spoken generations. He's like, I just want to write taboo subjects so people look at it and think about it.
Yeah.
Not use their whole brain, but just think about it. I'm like, wow, that's actually kind of smart. A guy who made the villain of two of his series, Forum Nerds, said something smart like, "You think I'm look up Gigant." At the end, that's who the villains are two forum nerds who are just playing a video game, and it's like, oh yeah, Earth was part of our plot. Why? Oh. What do you mean
I
you don't
mean,
know? Oh.
same thing could be said about Gantz itself.
Oh,
Spoilers
oh yeah.
for a 25-year-old anime.
Dude,
But
especially with how much Gantz is talked about, I'm sorry, but if you want to come at me with like a nihilistic a nihilistic piece of media,
A
and your
black
first thing
pill.
is, yeah, you don't walk out of reading Gantz the same.
Mm,
Like I'm not saying that like it's some life changing thing, but after reading that, you're like, I either need a hug or a shot of whiskey.
or
I
both.
just or both in succession. Like take the shot, get the hug, because it makes you really just understand how shitty people are when their life comes down to the line. That's really what it boils down to.
Like, recently had a very deep discussion with someone about why they don't want to watch Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and I thought it was for a certain reason because that's the reason they'd given before. It turns out that reason was kind of bullshit, and the reason they didn't want to get into Cyberpunk Edge Runners was because it's too bleak. Like the things that are being depicted are where current society is heading, and they said that they did not want to indulge in a story where they're literally looking at the future of the world and seeing how bleak it is and how hopeless it all is. And after they said that, I said, you know what? I can respect that opinion. I can actually like the first opinion you gave me why you wouldn't watch the show. I was like, that's bullshit. But that opinion, absolutely, because Cyberpunk 2077 and Cyberpunk Edge Runners are bleak. They are sad. They are but they're downers, man. But I love them so fucking much because they're such good stories.
I
Um,
I don't I can't agree with that. I can't. There are so many different pieces of media that depict bleakness and darkness in the future, and I think Cyberpunk Edge Runners is not a good one to use as like this is where we're headed. I don't think that's right. Like I don't
mm,
think that doesn't hit a bone hard enough to be like, that's where we're headed. It's not because it's just cybernetics. And I
well,
understand people would happily put cybernetics into their body and to do bad shit just to get some credits. But I, I'm trying to process what I'm trying to say here. I just think that that's way far along than what people think we're on. Because in
I
the sad aspect, it's not that sad. It has its moments where it's like, wow, that kind of hit me in the nuts, but not enough to make me bawl my eyes out.
I'm sorry, dude. No, I gotta disagree on that one. I'm sorry,
Disagree with me all you want.
Rebecca holding on to David in the one scene where he's going full cyber psycho, and you know what scene I'm talking about? It's right at the end of the series
I know, yeah, I know.
when she's holding on to him. That broke my heart. That hurt so goddamn bad. And like, there's so many.
I didn't have enough,
It's not
didn't have
a.
enough time to develop character bonds. Didn't have enough time for me.
Well, you want like I can understand that too, but I guess because it was made for the game, there is there's a
Uh,
lot there's a lot of lore there and stuff like that.
Mustard, no. Mustard, please.
Yes, we are.
Mustard in chat. So we're gonna have a One Piece episode once I finish it. Do you mean once it's finished or once you get caught up?
I mean, once he
Which
cuts up,
which one are we gonna do?
nah, like
Okay,
once he
all right, I'm
catches
fine
up,
with that.
yes, you we
I can
are.
hop on and rate Gibby. Ah man, that's gonna be hard. Because like I've dealt with people that like One Piece that talk so much shit about it, and I've dealt with people that don't like it and just say random shit. So like you can try.
I have no idea where the
Be our
fuck I
guest.
am because
Be
I
our
love it.
guest.
I love it, but I'm not sitting around for 2,000 episodes or whatever the fuck it is right now.
I
But
but man, okay. I love One Piece, but I'm so sick of these breaks. Like Don Don Don. They pulled a fuck you move and I'm still so upset about it. They
yeah,
released they were supposed to release a chapter last week. And I was excited because I am so sick of the arc that we're in and I'm ready to move past it because it's dumb. But they released a chapter last week and I was excited and I went to go view it and it was just a color page. And I was like, okay, maybe there's more to it. Nope,
I
not
wonder
a
if
single
Dandadan falls
color
more
page.
into Kinnikuman or to Bobobo.
it falls more into Kinnikuman because there is an underlying story there.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
Like you can put that's the same as saying One Punch Man because it's very hard to have the same energy that Bobobo did because Bobobo had a story, but it was so paper thin that you would have to piece it together like every 5 episodes. That's where you could piece them together.
Yeah. I was
Whereas
like, oh yeah, we're
Kinnikuman
doing this.
yeah. Whereas Kinnikuman was like, okay, it was a monster of the week. So here's the monster of the week. And that was it for the first season. And then they went to Hawaii because he was going for, wait, was it the Trojan Olympics or was it Hawaii?
No, it was a chosen.
Trojan Olympics and then Hawaii. But
And then Hawaii.
once the Trojan Olympics hits, that's when the coherent story kept going.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah,
And it was
definitely.
there. So it is very hard to have that Bobobo esque storytelling
Yeah, you're
because
right.
you,
You're right.
I'm not. Hey, broken clock is right twice a day.
You're often right, and I'm often wrong about a lot of things. I just don't dwell on them. Um,
I just don't like it. There was a time where I had 2 other people to back me up, but now it's just one on one, and this motherfucker's got pocket sand half the time.
yep. But with all that being said, let's rate it Bobobo out of 5. What are you saying?
4.5 out of 5.
Wow.
The only reason I don't give it a 5 is because of the censorship in the show. Some of the big jokes, some of the more risque jokes that I would have loved to see them animated, but beyond that, it's a 4.5 out of 5. Like I said, it's in my top 5.
I would say uh 3.5 out of 5.
3.5. All right. What gives you that rating?
Now, well, it doesn't mean it's bad. This means that when I first watched Bobobo, I very much enjoyed the chaos. I very much enjoyed the rug pulls that they did with so much of this bullshit that they pull. I loved the outlandish concept of hair racism. Now that I'm older, much older, I sit there and I look at this and I go, I get what it is. I understand what it is. I support what it is. But it is not nearly as good as I fucking remember.
I,
And a lot of it has to do with just growing older. You know what I mean? Just like the jokes were written for the era of the time. And there's a lot of jokes that are said within context of an anime forum, especially that were around the 2000s. So a lot of these jokes and other anime parodies and other characters that were of other animes that were making fun of at the time, uh it just it
the
doesn't
dark
hit the same way anymore.
the dark brooding character whose entire
Yeah.
power is farts.
Yeah, yeah, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't hit the same anymore now that I'm older. If you would have asked me in 2001, 2000, 2003, all the way up even until 2005, I would have said Bo. It's honestly I would have agreed with Gibby, a 4.5 out of 5. I love the absurdity and everything else. Now that I'm older, it's a 3.5 out of 5. Namely because just because of that, just because like everything is so dated in it.
More sophisticated now.
No. It's just all so dated. You know what I mean? And I there's been more than a couple of times, and when I was watching it, I was like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
That was like the tower.
Oh,
That
right,
was the
okay,
tower reference they made.
yeah,
Like the very first, like, oh, please don't take the elevator. My boss is gonna kill me.
exactly. And you just and like so there's very dated stuff that at the time I would have gotten instantly. You know what I mean? When they were making fun of Toyoi, which is their literal publishing company, the guys that make Dragon Ball Z and shit like that, they were making fun of it. They were literally like, "Motherfuckers will put on anything. Look at this show. They broke the fourth wall." So they were making fun of Toyoi. But now, like when I saw the joke, I was like, "Fuck are they? Well, they're making fun of Toye. That's right. Okay.
It's a lot of that. It's a lot of like, who are they making fun of? And then it hits you and you're like, oh, that's who we're making fun of. I
Yeah.
I, I like the poke and prod and parody and
Oh, I
satire.
absolutely love it.
I love it. So that again, why I gave it such a high ranking, why it sits in my top 5 of all time. I think, Deadman, I'm going to bring something up as a topic for next week's show, and you let me know how you feel about it. We'll gauge it here.
Yeah.
How would you feel if we brought in our top 10? Top 10
Animes?
anime of
Jesus.
all time, of everything we've ever watched, and mangas we've read, top 10 that just exist with you forever, that you will watch or read repeatedly and enjoy it just the same.
Man, that's a lot.
That's a challenge.
We'll do it in two parts then.
Okay.
10 to 6, 5 to 1. Because we are going to have a lot of shit to discuss. Because honestly, I got to sit the fuck down and make that list. Because that list, you're talking about 40 years of experience with anime, man. All right, I've been watching anime since literally I was a kid.
I know, and
So,
I gotta go through my like what I've read, what I've watched, and I gotta cherry pick that too because obviously some of it's never been animated. So my list will
yeah,
include manga as well.
yeah. So I gotta, oof.
See, I got you. See, I got you with the show topics because I feel we've talked about like specific ones that we've watched that have left an impact, that have kind of that like have left us with something, but we've never really defined something that encapsulated our taste. Because you
Okay.
can't look at me and say that your top 10 does not give an overarching style of what you'll sit and watch for hours.
Yeah.
Because I mean you can't tell me that you'll that in your top 10 Kotaro Lives Alone is in your top 10 and then you're like, oh, well, I just don't understand what I don't understand what Black Clover's about.
Oof.
See that they're gigantic. There is a gigantic gap between those two.
There
So
is.
yeah, so having a style of what we like, I think would be a great explanation as we discuss more shows and more animes to kind of give a broader idea.
You know what? I like that. I like that. So we're gonna do it in two parts.
See,
Because
my
we're gonna have a
style.
lot to discuss. We're gonna have a lot to justify. Um, what psychoanalysis of your list? Do it and I'll watch it. No, Draven, you will not be too dumb to understand. Bobobo. It's just that the references are old and you might need a minute to catch up.
There's a lot of that are very will fly over your head, and I also will say the same thing about Kinnikuman because they bring in a lot of old old
Yeah,
Japanese boxers and old Japanese wrestlers.
yeah.
Where Baki
There's
was,
even a. I think in Kinnikuman there's several references to Hulk Hogan,
yeah, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant.
Macho
Unfortunately,
Man.
yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Uh, Unfortunately, Baki doesn't suffer from that because Baki does pull current current people. So when you hear a name, you're like, ah, I mean, there's a whole story arc that revolves around Muhammad Ali's son.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like they pull very current, whereas shows from back then pull from the time period. So when Deadman says it's
Referential.
dated, yeah,
Dated.
when he
Yeah,
says that
dated.
it's
Sorry.
dated, he is not joking because there's a lot of stuff from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s in Japanese culture that if you don't know what they're making fun of.
Yeah. But with all that fucking said, we're gonna get the fuck out of here. So give me sign us off.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us tonight over here at VT Network.
Oh, other
He
way.
wants me to sign off, but he puts
Other
me on
way.
the
Other
screen.
way. What are you doing, you stupid fucking?
Hey, that's what I'm wondering. You're telling me to sign us off, and then here I am just
I
trying
don't
to
know what the hell just happened.
sign us off. I'm going to take you off screen, so it just looks
I
like
know,
I'm.
right? Here we go. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here for another exciting episode of VT Network. As always, I am one part of the dynamic duo Gibby, and as always, my tall Spaniard of a co host, Dead Man himself. Now, if you like listening to our voices but want to hear us portray characters in a more serious sense, a more comical sense, and maybe a sense that actually has an underlining story more than half of what these episodes do, go check out Dark Jar Media. Now, you might ask yourself, Gibby, where can I find this stuff? This sounds intriguing. This sounds amazing. Well, it's easy. If you go to any podcasting platform, look up Dark Jar Media, and you will find it there with such great shows as Persona Mortis, Score to Settle, Writer's Room, which is getting nothing but great reviews on it. Please go out, check it out, listen to us, let us know what you think. You can tell us you like it, you can tell us you hate it. Just tell us you listen to it so we can figure out what you like about it. Now, as always, please, we're getting into the hot summer months, and like it's gonna get hot, folks. I mean, coming from me, I'm in a Michigan state, so it gets hot, gets humid. For the love of God, please, 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 I'm begging you on my hands and knees, keep your balls clean.